Hello, Namaskar and welcome to Sports Buzz with me, Deepika, your one-stop destination for all international and national sporting updates. Let's begin. India will be up against England in second test match of 5-match test series at Lord's Cricket Ground in London starting Thursday. Fourth test was a draw as the fifth day was washed out by rain. Top players of Indian hockey contingent from the state of Odisha felicitated at a function in Kalinga Stadium. Top players awarded with cash prize and offer letters of appointment. Paris Saint-Germain to host a press conference on Wednesday with Messi at Parc des Princes 2 Auditorium. The six-time Ballon d'Or winner Lionel Messi signed a 2-year contract with PSG on Tuesday and will wear the number 30 shirt. And Nadal withdraws from Toronto Masters with persistent foot injury. The injury kept the 20-time Grand Slam champion out of Wimbledon and Tokyo Olympics this year. First up, India will be up against England in the second test match of the 5-match test series at the Lord's Cricket Ground in London. The rain-curtailed first test was entertaining but ended in a draw, with day 5 getting completely washed out. Ravichandran Ashwin's exclusion before the start of the first test raised a lot of eyebrows, and rightly so, with Virat Kohli stating that the combination used in the first test could be the template. It will be an interesting one to see if he makes it to the playing 11 in more spin-friendly conditions at Lord's. For India, KL Rahul would like to consolidate his position at the top of the order, even though Mayank Agarwal being back in the nets is a welcome sign for India. While batting order might not be tinkered with, but Agarwal's fitness could also make Rahul an option in the middle order, where he personally prefers batting. While both Pujara and Rahane are not in the best of form of late, they will only be replaced in the likely event of a last-minute injury. And moving on, the Olympic heroes of the country are back in the nation and are continuing to receive a grand welcome across the country in their respective districts and villages. Showers and blessings are continuing to pour in for Olympic gold medalist Neeraj Chopra as well. Army's Rajputana Rifles Regimental Centre in New Delhi on Wednesday morning held a grand reception of Subedar Neeraj Chopra. Whereas Indian Army Chief General M.M. Naravane on Tuesday congratulated the star athlete Neeraj Chopra on his historic victory at the Tokyo Olympics. The Army Chief exuded confidence that the world champion will continue to reach greater heights in the years to follow and inspire other sportspersons to bring bigger laurels and a great honor to our nation. Furthermore, Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat applauded the phenomenal javelin thrower Subedar Neeraj Chopra and complimented his performance in Tokyo Olympics that brought laurels to the nation. General Rawat complimented Chopra for his unparalleled achievement for India's history in track and field at Olympics. Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik felicitated the players from Odisha in the Indian hockey team at a function held in Kalinga Stadium, Bhubaneswar today. Deep Grace Eka, Namita Topo, Birendra Lakra and Amit Rohidas were part of the Indian hockey teams which created history at the Tokyo Olympics. Chief Minister handed over the cash award of 2.5 crore rupees to Birendra Lakra and Amit Rohidas. Chief Minister also handed over the offer letter for appointment as Deputy Superintendent of Police in the State Police Department. Chief Minister handed over cash award of 50 lakh rupees each to Deep Grace Eka and Namita Topo, who were part of the Indian women's hockey team at Tokyo Olympics. The Chief Minister also assured them of full support in future endeavours. Indian men's hockey goalkeeper P.S. Rajesh set bronze medal win at the Tokyo Olympics can be a watershed moment for the country and will help the sport reach dizzy heights. The goalkeeper finally gets to add an Olympic medal to his glittering international career. Srijesh played a central role in India's campaign at the Tokyo Olympics, pulling off a series of saves in the dying minutes of their bronze medal match against Germany. Our correspondent Taposh Bhattacharya spoke to the man of the moment regarding those crucial seconds before the whole country erupted in joy.
Joining me is PR Srijesh, the man who made it happen after almost 41 years. Srijesh, welcome to Doordarshan. And first and foremost, how does it feel when you were right there perched at the top of that goal post? I'm definitely sure you were absolutely thrilled.
See, that is one of the memorable moments, and definitely I don't know how to describe that moment, because it's a hard work of it's almost long 21 years. 2000 I started my career, and it's 2021 I got a Olympics medal, which is like a dream comes true, because when I started my career I always heard about the good stories, the history which Indian hockey team created in the Olympics games. So today when I achieved that, when I got a bronze medal in Olympics games, I think that is great, and I become part of history.
You were part of the history, and you actually made history. That last penalty corner, if you were not there, it would have made it to the penalty shootout. What was going on in your mind at that time?
See, it's a penalty corner defense is a collective effort, because you need to trust your defender as well. So Amit Rohidas, Surendra, Manpreet was there, Rupinder was there. So I was pretty confident that how it's going to be, how it's going to be defended. And once we made that save, then we realized that okay, that's done, because 6 seconds in this world nobody can score a goal. And that particular time I was just thinking about how I wanted to defend that, because I was instructing my players to just to run a two block, so that I cover the left, and we will tempt them to flick on the right side or anywhere, so that I'll be mentally and physically prepared to save that ball. So there was nothing else was in my mind. I was just focusing how to save that ball.
When you came back, to the country, the kind of celebration that you saw right from the airport, what went to your mind at that time?
See, that's what it, because of the sport, we divided by languages, we divided by whatever, the caste, anything. But when we win a medal for our country, the entire country united, the country is ready to welcome the heroes. And yesterday I witnessed that. So the way the people in the airport, even here when we got back, the reception what we got, that is it's you can't say that, it's really great, and so these all celebrations always help us to forget about the sacrifice what we made during that past 2 years, 3 years, whichever it is. So that because the hard work, the sacrifice which we made came into a glorious end. So that is what most important this time.
London was a dampener where you guys, and from there the journey, the change that started, especially now. Do you believe that this is the watershed moment now that we entered the bronze age, but it's time to enter the golden age again?
See, it's all about a process, because if you want to win an Olympics medal, if you want to win a World Cup, it's not happening yesterday. It happens years back. So as Abhinav Bindra says, it's a 4 years effort to win a medal. So now I think we are in a right track. The progress is happening in the proper way, and we are preparing in the right track. We are getting the young legs into the team, new talents. So when you are in the right track, right procedure, I think that will help you to achieve the best in the world. So in the future, this is going to be our what is the focusing point. So from here we start. So now the dreams will be much higher. So next time when we going for any tournaments, people always says that this team won an Olympics medal. Now we are expecting more from them. So that is going to be our next target. Consistency is more important, and definitely next year Asian Games and World Cup is going to be a crucial moment for us.
Last question: how much influence that Reed had, and the support that you received from the Sports Authority of India, Hockey India, and other organizations?
Sports Authority of India, especially Bangalore Sai Center, is like our second home because last this the COVID throughout all this COVID period we were there from the first day. Sports Authority of India, especially Sai Center, they made that all facilities to support us in a proper channel. They closed the gates so that we feel safe, and they never allowed anybody from outside to secure us. Keep us safe from this COVID thing, and definitely from the government, they always there to support us with all the facilities we needed, especially with the foreign coaches and all the other facilities. Whenever we required, we got foreign exposure. We traveled to Germany prior to this. We've been to Argentina to play pro leagues. So the government is supporting a lot, and even though now I think the Khelo India program also developing in a better way, and definitely when the team wins in a Olympics medal, the association does a wonderful job to support its players. So Hockey India is doing a marvelous job from last 10 or 12 years, because I think the Indian hockey changed a lot after Hockey India introduced in Hockey India League. Because that's the time we get more foreign exposure. We met with a lot of international players. We get to know them. We learn from them. So I think it's a collective effort of the government part, the association part, and the players part. We won this medal.
Appreciate your time. So that was P.R. Srijesh, the man who won us that particular bronze medal. It's very clear that this is just a process, and in due course of time we will have more medals to come from a main championship, especially the Olympics.
Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, as part of celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav India at 75, is organizing Fit India Freedom Run 2.0 throughout the country, taking inspiration from inaugural speech of Prime Minister Narendra Modi during the curtain raiser of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav on 12th of March this year. Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports has conceptualized celebrations of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav under the pillar of actions and results at 75. Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Singh Thakur will launch the nationwide program of Fit India Freedom Runs 2.0 on 13th of August. There will be 75 physical events at different historical locations on the launch day, which is on the 13th of August. Subsequently, each week programs will be held in 75 districts and at 75 villages in each district till 2nd of October 2021. Thus, Fit India Freedom Runs will be organized across 744 districts, 75 villages in each of the 744 districts, and 30,000 educational institutions across the country. Through this initiative, more than 7.50 crore youths and citizens will be reached to take part in the run. And now let's have a look at some soccer updates from the world.
Manchester City defender John Stones has signed a new 5-year deal with Premier League club. His contract at Etihad was due to expire next year, but he will now remain with the club until 2026. Stones has made 168 appearances and won every domestic trophy since joining the club from Everton in 2016. Derby County held their nerve in a penalty shootout as they fought back from 2-0 and 3-2 down in a normal time to beat Salford City in the first round of the Carabao Cup. Derby trailed 2-0 in the first round tie before coming back to 2-2. However, shortly after the equalizer, Salford went ahead again. Revan Morrison scored another equalizer late on the send the game to a penalty shootout, which Derby won 5-3. Southampton have signed striker Adam Armstrong from Blackburn on a 4-year deal. Armstrong was second in the championship scoring chart last season with 28 goals in 40 appearances. He is the second striker to sign for the Saints after Armando joined on a loan from Chelsea. Manchester City have roped in Aston Villa's star attacker Jack Grealish. Pep Guardiola has one of the best possible squad in the league at his disposal. They have boosted the team by signing the English international and took to defend their title in upcoming campaigns. Sports Desk, DD India.
And moving on and staying with football, Lionel Messi has signed a 2-year contract with Paris Saint-Germain after leaving Barcelona. The 34-year-old deal also has the option of a third year. Messi left Barca, the only club he has played for, as they were unable to afford a new deal under La Liga's financial fair play rules.
Lionel Messi has been announced as a Paris Saint-Germain player after signing a 2-year deal worth a staggering £35 million a season. The 34-year-old landed in Paris on Tuesday and was greeted by PSG fans who had been camped out since early morning to welcome the player they and the rest of Europe had believed would see out his career at Barcelona. Waving to his new supporters and wearing a Paris t-shirt, the Argentine looked ecstatic just 2 days after the tears over his Barcelona farewell. His capture completes an incredible summer for PSG, in which they have signed the captains of Barcelona and Real Madrid on free transfers. They have assembled one of the most expensive forward lines ever, with Messi agreeing a deal worth only slightly less than Neymar's estimated £37 million early contract. Kylian Mbappe completes PSG's all-star front three, although he is now in the last year of his deal, having turned down 3 attempts by the French club to renew it, and is holding out a free transfer to Real Madrid next summer. Messi joined Barcelona as a 15-year-old and went on to make his senior debut in 2004 at just 16 years old, featuring 778 times for the club in total across his 21-year career. During that time, Messi became Barcelona's record scorer with 672 goals, including 120 Champions League goals and a record 474 La Liga goals. He also managed 10 La Liga titles, 4 Champions Leagues and 7 Copa del Rey. Messi's individual contribution also saw him claim European Golden Shoe Award for the continent's top scorer on 6 occasions. Sports Desk, DD India.
And world number 4, Rafael Nadal, had withdrawn from the Masters 1000 hardcore event underway in Toronto due to persistent pain in his injured left foot. The injury kept the 20-time Grand Slam champion out of Wimbledon and the Tokyo Olympics this year, and played a role in his shock third-round exit at the Washington Open last week. Nadal will now turn his attention towards getting fit ahead of the US Open in New York. Second seed Nadal will be replaced by lucky loser and fellow Spaniard Feliciano Lopez in the main draw. And in wrestling now, the Wrestling Federation of India temporarily suspended Vinesh Fogart for indiscipline during her Tokyo Olympics campaign that ended in quarter-final defeat, and also issued a notice to young Sonam Malik for misconduct. Vinesh has been given time till 16th of August to reply to the notice that mentioned indiscipline on 3 counts. Vinesh had earlier refused to stay at the Games Village and train with other Indian team members who went as part of the Indian contingent. She also did not wear the name of the official sponsors of the Indian contingent, which was Shiv Naresh, and chose to wear a Nike singlet during her bout. India etched history with creating many records at Tokyo Olympics 2020. While it was an event of many firsts where many players and events made their debut, the event also brought a new ray of hope for athletics as a sporting event in the country. Let's now take a look at some of the interesting facts from Tokyo Olympics 2020.
Tokyo Olympics 2020 has been a historic journey for India in many ways. With the best ever performance by India in the Tokyo Olympics 2020, the country also witnessed an ending of 41 years drought in hockey with a bronze medal for the country, whereas a golden rise for the country in Tokyo was also witnessed with a gold medal ending 121 years of age in athletics. If you look at India's performance in the Olympics this time around, for the first time, the country managed to be in top 50 in the medal tally, whereas India's position in Rio Olympics was 67th. Let's take a quick look at crisp Olympic stats from Tokyo Olympics. 55 participants out of total 120 athletes made it to the quarterfinals in Tokyo Olympics 2020. 5 athletes played for gold medal match, while more than 40 athletes made it to the semi-finals. Men's hockey team participated in the semi-finals after 49 years, whereas also earned the medal, ending a wait of almost 41 years. Women's hockey players etched history in the third Olympics itself, making it to the semi-finals after 41 years. 3 of 7 medal winners from Indian contingent in Tokyo Olympics were women, posing the best ever performance by female athletes. Whereas in 25 Olympic Games held so far where India participated, India returned empty-handed for 6 times, whereas 13 times India managed to win only 1 medal. It was thrice when Indian athletes won only 2 medals. Till date, India has won 3 medals only once and managed to win 6 medals in one Olympics, and that was in the year 2012 during the London Olympics. At the same time, for the first time ever, Indian athletes were able to bag 7 Olympic medals for the country. With this, India's record-breaking performance in the Olympic Games has raised hopes for future medal probabilities and has indeed motivated many young athletes. Sports Desk, DD India.
And we are going for a short break over here.